All right, guys, we got Bitcoin coming in at 22,700. A little bit of a dump from this morning. You know, everything's been kind of bullish the last couple of days, well, actually the last couple of weeks. And a lot of people are getting bullish in crypto. You know, for me, I know we're going to go bullish in 2024 next to the halving. But what are some things that I think could kill this little bull run we're in right now and pretty much bring Bitcoin back to 15,000, 16,000, hey, maybe even 12,000? What are the top three things that I worry about that could make it a long, depressing year in crypto? Okay, the first one on my mind is this war in Russia. You know, this war started about a year ago, and when this war first started, the war in Ukraine, Putin invading Ukraine, when this war started, it was pretty much this time last year. Stock market dumped, crypto dumped. It was pretty much a bad week for crypto. Now this war has been dragging out for the last year. Putin really hasn't made too much ground. He took over some cities, but for the most part, he's been getting clobbered, mainly because of NATO countries, Europe, United States, funding this war for Ukraine and giving weapons. And I just saw this news story today where the U.S. is giving Ukraine tanks, brand new tanks. So Russia says tank promises can show a direct and growing Western involvement in Ukraine. So all this is basically just escalating the war. Now, there's no way in hell Putin can lose this war. I mean, it would be the end of his regime. It might even be the end of Russia, to be honest. It'll be a huge embarrassment. So he's going to do whatever he has to do to win this war and save face. And the more equipment, the more weapons, the more money we give Ukraine, the harder it's going to be for Putin to take over that territory, and the more desperate he's going to get. Putin's been threatening nukes all year. And, you know, really, you have people in his administration talking about, you know, they should nuke Germany. They're calling Germans Nazis. I mean, it's not looking too good. So I would say any escalation in this war could absolutely kill the markets, kill the stock market, and those risk assets like Bitcoin, gold, heck, tech stocks. I mean, really, unless you're in like a defense stock, will absolutely tank. Now, I know this war's been dragging out for the last year, but things are starting to escalate and Putin is getting desperate. So that's one thing I worry about. That could definitely tank the markets. And of course, nuclear war, you know, I've said this before, who really even cares about crypto and stocks at that point? And then we're pretty much all dead, or whoever survives, we're fighting for food. And that's why you should always have storable food and guns, storable food and guns. And actually water too, or at least live near a water source. But this is at the top of my list. All right, the next thing is, of course, just the economy in general. We had the GDP report today that showed solid fourth quarter growth, but still a signal recession is coming. We have the inflation situation, and the job numbers are actually very good, which is not good for the inflation situation because the Fed is trying to kill the job market and kill the economy a little bit so that inflation goes down. So everybody's still worried about going into a recession, and it could happen at any moment. We could have a housing crash, mortgage crash, I've been talking about car payments. You know, I read that people are getting $1,000 car payments. I mean, that's more than my mortgage. Like, this is all going to basically at some point collapse. Will it collapse this year, next year, the year after? I don't know. But something's going to collapse, and it's going to bring us into a minor recession or a deep recession. But either way, that will kill the stock market and kill crypto. You know, if Bitcoin's at $50,000 at that time, maybe you'll just bring it back down to 40 or 30. But if Bitcoin's at $20,000 and we get some really bad economic news, that could bring Bitcoin down to $10. So definitely something to look out for. It's something I think about every day. And of course, the next big thing that we've seen, I mean, really the big killer of crypto this year is all these freaking exchanges and crypto companies that have gone bankrupt. Of course, the last big one was FTX, which, you know, knocked Bitcoin down like $10,000, billions of dollars lost. Sam Bankman-Fried is on house arrest. I mean, who would have thought? You have all these other crypto companies like BlockFi, Celsius, the people had their money in, Three Arrows Capital. I mean, the list goes on. And this is what really, if it wasn't for all of these crypto companies crashing, Bitcoin probably would have not gone below $40,000. So another one of these big freaking crypto companies crashing, like Coinbase. I mean, you'd be looking at a $10,000 Bitcoin. Binance, Binance.us, Gemini, like this would just destroy crypto, and we would definitely be a sub $10,000 crypto. So these are the three things that I worry about, and these are the three things that you know. And there's actually other things as well, but these are the three top things we need to be worried about. You know, I'm definitely bullish on crypto, but this is investing. There's no guarantee. I do expect Bitcoin to be back up to all-time highs going into 2024, near the halving. But you know, halving or not, if there's nukes being launched from Russia at Europe, I don't care what happens with this halving, Bitcoin's not pumping. You know, if we go into the Bitcoin halving and something happens with Coinbase or Binance and they don't have the money to allow people to take their money out, then the halving is not going to make any effect on Bitcoin and crypto. Everything's going to crash. So we need stability in the world and the markets to go into a bull market, and there's definitely things we need to be worried about. And that's why you should never be all in on crypto. It should be a small percentage of your investment, just like stocks, real estate, everything. I mean, you're probably safe for real estate, but you never want to be all in on one particular thing, because it doesn't take much, especially with crypto, to crash crypto. And we do have some black swan events that are lurking in the shadows. All right, folks. Thank you. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.